Willie D Live.
What's up, family? I want you to take a look at Representative Wesley Hunt of Texas. Oh, fam, this dude right here.
A lot of talk how there won't be any black Republican members in the new term.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Nothing. I don't understand how that's relevant.
Is there a problem with like recruitment, or
I don't think it's a problem with anything. I'm not here because I'm black. I am here because I'm qualified representative for Congressional District 38, and the American people choose who they want to choose.
Yeah.
And the one thing I don't want to get into is this game of race bait all day, every day. If there's 4, if there's 10, if there's none, what we are talking about is who is the best person that is best qualified to fill a seat, regardless of the way that they look. And I tell people this all the time till I am blue in the face. I represent a white majority district that President Trump would have won by over 20 points, and I won by 25 points the last time I ran. I'm being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. I don't care how many black people are here. I want the most qualified people that are here.
And
Thank you.
Oh, got it. Thank you, Harrison.
It's always interesting to me how you have some black people who climb that ladder of success that was built and held up by other black people. And then when they get to the top, they kick the ladder, make sure nobody else can climb it. Absolutely amazing. Wesley Hunt, who gonna tell him, fam? Who gonna tell him? Who gonna tell him that ain't nothing about this country is built on merit? Everything is nepotism. Everything, and I mean everything, is race. Now, I know y'all, some of y'all, well, that's not true. Well, what about such and such, such and such, 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 such? That's resilience. That's either resilience or it's hand-picked favor. Let me pick Clarence Thomas because I know he's going to sell out his people. He's going to throw black people under the bus every chance he gets. So let's pick Clarence. How about Tim? How about Tim? Y'all remember Tim, fam? How about we get Tim Scott? And let's handpick him. Boom, Tim Scott. Herschel Walker. How about Herschel? Let's get Herschel. Because we know that they are easy to control. They will do our bidding. They will do exactly what we tell them to. These are dancing puppets. They are going to follow instructions to the point of no question whatsoever. We know we got them. This dude is out of his mind talking about he is representing this majority white district because of the content of his character. That's true, I guess, because you got character, comes in all forms. So your character fits the agenda. Yeah, they know that you are going to be a black face with a white mindset. They know you're going to throw black people under the bus every chance you get. They need people who look like you, Wesley, to throw off the scent. Well, even the black guy is saying, look at that, he's black. He's even saying he's black. It's not about merit. It's about who's going to do what we instruct them to do. Who's going to do it? Who will do it? And we know throughout history, there's always been black folks lining up to sell out black folks. All the way through history, you can find black folks who are willing to sell out other black folks so they can get a little crumbs for themselves and get a little pat on the top of their head. Yeah. Wesley think we slow. Good speech, though. Good speech. Let me tell you about some key positions that Wesley has had and his legislative actions. He has called for the complete and permanent abolition of diversity, equity, and inclusion, otherwise known as DEI programs, in both the military and civilian workplaces. He argues these policies are discriminatory and should be replaced by a pure merit system. See, they love to talk about merit. This is how they try to actually keep people out. They say on paper merit, right? Out loud merit, but they pick and choose who they want to bring in, and then they just say it was because of merit. And if you didn't get in, well, maybe it's because you wasn't qualified. You just wasn't good enough. This is the game they've played since the beginning of time. Wesley also opposes the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, claiming it seeks unconstitutional federal control over state elections. He strongly supports mandatory government-issued ID for voting, rejecting the idea that such requirements are racist as soft bigotry. He has explicitly rejected reparations proposals, such as those in San Francisco, characterizing them as Marxist plans that fail to correct historical wrongs. He has voted for measures to block race awareness in education and training in federal agencies and schools. And not surprisingly, he supports legislation like the Police Act, which facilitates the removal of non-citizens who assault police officers and opposes efforts to defund the police. His Heritage Action scorecard, he scored a 100% for the 119 Congress and 96% score for the 118, reflecting a solid conservative voting pattern, which means that, and then he has a high absentee percentage also. He's been absent for 20.6% of roll call votes during his tenure. So they know who they got. So yeah, they absolutely voted for you because of your character aligns with theirs. You're a black dude, you're a coconut, black on the outside, white on the inside. So yeah, they'll vote for you as long as you do their bidding. The moment you vote one time against them, one time, you got one time and your ass is out of there. And you know that. You know this, man. This dude thinks that he's somehow getting over or he's somehow smarter than everybody else. What I want to know again is who's going to tell this coconut? Who's going to tell this performative dancing coconut that he out of pocket? I'll never understand it, fam. I'll never understand how you have people who will climb that ladder of success and then kick the ladder to make sure nobody else can climb it. Kind of like how Ted Cruz and his daddy did. You know, Ted Cruz and his daddy, they fled to the United States. And now they're huge proponents of making sure that other immigrants don't have the same opportunity as they had to come to the U.S. This dude, Wesley, practices in the mirror. Yeah. Look, it's not about black. It's not about black. It's not about white. Everything about this country is about black and white. Everything. Everything in this country is about racism. Everything. So you can believe it if you want to. But if you look at the cabinet, you can just look at Donald Trump's cabinet, and you can see that ain't none of it is about merit. All of it is about race. Look inside, look at that walk room. Look at all of these black qualified professionals that Pete Hegseth fired. Yeah, look at that. Take a look at that. 60%. And you know, black people in these high government positions are already disproportionately underrepresented. But he managed to fire at least 60% of them. 60% of his firing was Black professionals. Yeah. Somebody was saying, take a look at, let me take a look at and see who this guy married. You ain't got to just look at who he married. You can look at the church he attends. You are absolutely being judged, Wesley. You're absolutely in that position, and you absolutely have been judged, Wesley, to appease white folks and make them feel less guilty. Yeah, you have absolutely been handpicked. You ain't fooling nobody but yourself. In fact, you ain't even fooling yourself because you ain't that stupid. You know that you're a puppet. But some of y'all just like the idea of make-believe. What say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.